by. Faith Urban picks up 1 point, and now she does the exact same, and she goes by one of the other California Quakes. That was Jamie Konomak. 2 points that Debbie Rice has already put on the board, and now she cuts off the jam. But it's good to see Debbie Rice finally break into the scoring column. 2 very important points.
Well, you see a little smile on her face, Debbie Rice, and I think she must have heard Buddy Atkinson Jr. talk about her. He said she was huffing and puffing a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, she came out here to play today. I think the huffing and puffing is because she's a little bit tired. I don't think that wrist has bothered her, Ken. I think she just now in this period is starting to get her game legs back for her.
And you see Franklin and Lode now a double whip again, springs Gina Lombardo, being chased by Heather Sunderman, the Florida Sundogs, really showing some offense. They've scored on every single jam. Finally, the California Quakes were shut out, but we still have had a point scored on every single jam in this game. It's Lombardo and Heather Sunderman. Heather likes to stay low on the curves and then come high using those long loping strides. And this time she gets tangled up on Gina Lombardo. Lombardo again now closing on the pack. The Florida Sundogs are really off to a whale of a start here in this third period. Lombardo again jamming. Takes a whip from Lindsey Francis. Goes by one of the Quakes. He drops down. Lombardo goes by Cindy Zimmerman. Now she goes by Brooke Sunderman. Gina Lombardo flying by. Now she passes the entire pack. Gina Lombardo picks up 5 points, passing the entire California Quake team. What a jam by Gina Lombardo.
Well, this is on the heels of Debbie Rice materializing perhaps as an injury-free Sundog. Ken, I got to say it again. These Sundogs are coming off several weeks of being short-handed. We saw Denise Lode playing for the men. We know the Shalines are back now, specifically Suzanne Shaline as a Sundog woman. These guys are loaded, and they are aiming right here at the Quakes. Who seem to be going for a big hit, and the Sundogs are here to play it well-rested, Ken.
And now it's Jamie Konomak, and it looks like Suzanne Shaline out for the Florida Sundogs. We've talked about it so many times in the WSL. The rotation teams get used to certain jammers going out on certain jams, and the Sundogs have been in total disarray. Now the California Quakes practicing a lift. Tie up a number of the Sundogs high on the rail. Jamie Konomak is able to fly right by, pick up 3 points. The only problem is so did one of the Florida Sundogs who was out on that jam. Each team picking up 3 points, so they cancel one another out, and it is 21-14. It's the Florida Sundogs 21, the California Quakes 14, as we're getting ready to start the fourth period. Extremely balanced scoring on the Sundogs from top to bottom, but on the California Quakes side, of the 14 points, 12 of those have been accounted from Jamie Konomak and Amy Craig. And no points were bigger in that third period than Amy Craig, Buddy, when she went through and actually tied the game up at 11, but single-handedly worked her way through the entire pack. Buddy, why don't you show us that play?
Let's take a look at this. Nice move to the inside. She's run the outside. She sidesteps. She's run back up to the outside. Now she moves back into the inside. Slides through on the inside, goes back up high, and watch this sidestep. Beautiful job. Excellent. That's what I call working.
There's no question both teams have started getting a lot of offense today as Mark D'Amato talks to Rusty Montgomery. I certainly would like to know what that conversation was about. It could certainly bode no good. Again, the racehorse start as we start every period here in the WSL. Breaking right away, coming out for the Florida Sundogs is Jonathan Russell. And now coming up on the inside, the speedster Eric Slope in the white pony. And very quickly up he goes and comes around and down he goes. Now the Florida Sundogs out. It is Jonathan Russell and Tom Smith for Florida. Florida leads this one by 7 and looking to add to their lead. It's been a real offensive show all day long from the Florida Sundogs. They continue to have scored on every single jam. Atkinson and Montgomery now back trying to block out, and they certainly need to. It's Russell and Smith trying to get around. The Quakes can ill afford to let the Sundogs put any more points on the board with no California Quake jammer out. If they do, there'll be unanswered points. Once again, Russell now the lead jammer, dealing with Montgomery. Atkinson doing a good job of blocking out. But remember, Russell already has 1 point for passing Sean Atkinson, the Bulldog, and now a back body drop, and over goes goes Smith, but he also goes by Atkinson. They both pick up a point.
Well, and whether these guys are working as a team or not, Sean Atkinson and Rusty Montgomery both got it done on defense there, Ken. You saw the back attack at the end by Sean Atkinson. I don't know what Rusty Montgomery was talking to the leader of bad is good, Mark D'Amato was before the jam, but Rusty Montgomery really did his team, the California Quakes, some service. And right there you see the back attack by Sean Atkinson. Relationship or not, Sean Atkinson is leaving bodies strewn all over the track.
I certainly have to question the strategy by Montgomery and Atkinson. Granted, physical move, laying out a couple of the Sundogs, but in so doing added Florida to yet put 2 more unanswered points on the board. It is now 23-14 for the Sundogs. The Sundogs, without a doubt, the hottest team in the WSL, and certainly not slowing down at all. And now number 14, Rusty Montgomery, gives a big whip to Mark James for the California Quakes. The Quakes really need to generate some kind of offense. They have been putting a lot of goose eggs on the board as of late. And right now, here comes Posse Chalene closing on James.
Well, this seems to maybe be a symptom of what they were trying to accomplish, Ken. By getting physical, they free Mark James, but Posse Chalene closes the door on that strategy.
And now Chad Vaughn to try and block out Posse Chalene, the star from Helsinki, Finland. Chalene skating with a whole new confidence. He's always been physical, but he's combined that with a lot of speed. Now they set up the double whip. Sam Martin goes hard, picks up a point. Posse Chalene picks up a point. You see Martin very quickly cutting off the jam, not allowing the Quakes to get any points on the board. Every time a lead jammer puts both hands on his waist, that cuts off the jam. A point for Martin, a point for Chalene. As you see the big elbow drop Mark James. Buddy Atkinson, you're our roller derby expert. What do the California Quakes need to do to get back into this game?
Atkinson's got to get serious and rough, and I mean rough, and start moving these Sundogs around and getting his jammers through.
California trails this one by 11. It's been a very high-scoring game, but most of the scoring is being done by the Florida Sundogs. We'll see what Sean Atkinson and the California Quakes can pull out of their bag of tricks. Now, right now, it's number 13 for the California Quakes. Eric Slopey, the big elbow drop. Jonathan Russell, this is what the Quakes need. They've got a jammer sprung. They desperately need. I don't know why Slopey is taking time to get on his white pony, trailing by 11 points, calling everybody back. Slopey, if I were you, I'd concentrate on scoring. David Glenny now dropping back to try and block out Slopey. Does a good job, pins him high, uses that upper rail to prevent him from going by. Now Sean Atkinson with a hammer drops David Glenny. That's 1 point for Eric Slopey. Atkinson goes high and pulls down Captain America Bill Barker. Eric Slopey flies through, picks up a couple of points. That's exactly what the Quakes needed. Danny?
All right, Sean Atkinson, you guys are down by 9 points. There's only, what do you look? Oh, man.